Well, firstly, Tyler, welcome to Dublin.
I appreciate it.
You're over, obviously, as part of C2C. You're playing Introducing Nashville with Alana Springsteen and Kaylee Hammock. You played the festival on Friday in London, last night in Glasgow. Tell me about your experience of this thing.
I mean, it's been awesome. It's our first time coming overseas at all. So we went to the UK first, and now in Ireland. We're very excited. We hear some of the best crowds in the world. So far it's been true, and here Ireland's even better.
Yeah, I mean, you've literally just released a 6-track EP called Neon Grave. Tell me about this glorious title track. You wrote it with Justin E. back and Shane Minor. Tell me about the song and how it came together.
So that was back in 2020, so I've had trouble remembering the details. But one of those guys brought in the title of Neon Grave, and we kind of just sat around and thought, what does that mean? And that's how we come up with, just the very beginning of the song, just thinking the idea of, if you can't go to heaven, you might as well be able to go to, a dive bar somewhere and listen to country music, and that's how it started.
And there's a lovely duet on there with one of my favourite singers, Sydney from Echosmith. Try Losing One. How did that, have you been friends for a while? How did it happen?
So that was actually the first time I met Sydney, but we're under the same management, myself and Echosmith, and Sydney had always had this desire to kind of do something in the country world, and to me, the genre lines are already blurred anyways, so we were looking for someone to do a duet with, and since she already had that desire, she was so great to work with, she's so talented, it was just perfect timing.
There's a real live energy on the EP. I know it was produced by Randy Montana. What do you think he's been able to kind of capture and develop within your sound?
So he just puts together these amazing crews of musicians, and we go in studio, and it is all recorded at one time, and he's able to put together, like I said, amazing teams. And the ideas he has behind the songs and getting together with those musicians is just the way it all comes together. I've been blessed to have those guys to work with.
And you're originally from a town in Alabama called Slapout.
Slapout.
And I know growing up, your parents played a lot of country around the house, and then you started playing in rock cover bands around the age of 18 or 19. And there is a real rock quality to your sound that you've kept up with, right?
Yeah, we've tried to kind of keep that influence there, especially with live shows. It's definitely more like a rock show than anything else. But this is kind of the first few songs that we've been able to put out, Neon Grave and Wrong Right Now, and some of these that feel a little heavier. And like you said, that more of a live aspect on the EP. It's the first time we've been able to really lean that direction so far. And so that's kind of the direction we're moving in. I'm glad we've been able to put out a taste of that.
And while working at the Montgomery Fire Department, you competed in a singing competition and won it. And you won $1,000 and the chance of a recording session in Nashville. Tell me about your first experiences of Music City. It must have been fairly eye-opening for you.
So yeah, when I first went to Nashville with a couple of my friends to kind of take advantage of that trip that we won a recording session, and I just went in and did some acoustic stuff. But while we were in town, we went out and saw some writers' rounds, and I got up and played a song for one of them, just kind of standing in, and it was really cool to be accepted so quick as soon as you got there. There's so many people looking to move and chase some sort of dream, and so it's really cool to see how accepting people were and understanding that we're all trying to do the same thing. And so it actually snowed a lot, so we thought it was going to snow way more than it does. Since our one trip, it snowed like crazy, but it doesn't snow that often, but when it does, the whole city kind of shuts down because we're not really prepared for it. But I've loved it, and ever since that first trip, I wanted to move up there.
So from visiting Nashville and then knowing people who made the move there, you made the move yourself in, I think it was the summer of 2016, and you got a job at the Brentwood Fire Department. Yep. It was the following January, you were already playing Whiskey Jam. So what, in hindsight, do you think were the crucial moments? Was it just hustle and networking? How did you do that so quickly?
Well, I was lucky that I moved in with my tour manager that's sitting over here, and he was already working with some other artists, and they were going to play, so he threw my name out there to Ward, and Ward with Whiskey Jam has always been so accepting, and that's their whole thing is bringing in new artists. So I got to play at January about 6 or 8 months after moving to town, and that was our first time really playing any original music in town and playing a show there, so it was really cool. We've got to play Whiskey Jam a lot since then, but that was a good foundation, and it's all because of moving in with Chase, but it was great, and we'll never forget the first time for sure.
And am I right in thinking it was meeting a guy randomly who you were playing softball with, who then introduced you to the guy who owned your management company?
Yes, again through Chase, I started playing softball with some guys, and we played for years together, and one of the guys that was on the very first season that we played, his name is Sean Pace. This is about a year after moving to town. I put out a song, and he just kind of messaged me. He was like, "Hey man, let's work together." And he just wanted to introduce me to Bruce Kalmick, and Bruce owned a management company out of Texas, and since then it's kind of split off to his own thing. And when he split off, he made it official and signed me with my current manager, Pete Olson, and it's just kind of been a dream ever since. It's a great team to work with, and yeah, it did. It started through softball.
And last year you represented Tennessee on a TV singing competition, American Song Contest. That must have been a massive platform and a boost for your profile.
It's been awesome. That competition, American Song Contest, was actually modeled after the parent competition would be Eurovision over here.
Right, yeah.
And so it had a representative from every state and every territory in the United States. And so it's really cool to just meet all the diversity, see all the diversity and all the backgrounds and upbringings and different genres there are just in the U.S. And to do that competition was really cool. And I've met so many amazing fans that stemmed off of that, would tell me at shows, that's how they found me at first, was on NBC watching American Song Contest. But yeah, I mean, it was really fun doing that, and it stemmed a lot of great fans out of it.
And you've opened for the likes of Brantley Gilbert, Brooks and Dunn. You've just played some shows with Mitchell Tenpenny. What have you taken away from those experiences watching those guys?
It's been great to be able to watch so many different types of productions and so many different types of shows, and just the best part is being able to spread out and play for so many different fan bases and just grow my own and just make new fans. They're always so accepting. Every time we open for someone else, all the fans are so accepting. That's what I love about country music fans. And it's just learning every time we're with them, not just from the artists, but just from the musicians and the live show and all of their crew, and just learning how to conduct ourselves and how we would treat openers when they come with us. It's all been a dream.
And you're about to play some shows opening for Chase Rice. Come June, you'll be on the road with Luke Bryan. I mean, this is a crucial year. It's going to be massive for you, isn't it?
It's going to be great. Yeah, we've got a lot of sporadic stuff with Chase and Dierks Bentley, Luke Bryan. Yeah, the Luke Bryan tour later this year. We've actually got some big festivals. We're playing with Brooks and Dunn. It's going to be a great year for sure. And then we're headlining our own festival in Mexico in Playa del Carmen. It's going to be a good year.
As I said to you when we first met, it's great to meet your wife as well, Marissa. You guys got married last year.
We did.
And I was going to ask you, how are you finding the balance of, marriage and, a job that requires so much time and travel? But would this be regular? Would she even come out with you in the States?
So Marissa is actually a tour photographer, videographer for other artists and for, artists of different genres. And so I'm blessed that when she's not out with someone else, she's able to come on the road with us, and we do such a big trip like this. She definitely wanted to come, and I wanted her to be here. But like you said, we're blessed at the same time that we're both out here working, we're both out here advancing our careers, and we just get to be together. And it's better, than if one of the other had the 9 to 5 where you stay at home. It does make it a lot harder. So we're blessed in that we get to travel together sometimes.
You're in the strange position that you probably embrace the time apart. It's probably a wee bit too much.
I don't know. I'm not going to say that out loud.
So you host this annual charity golf tournament, and it raises money to support first responders, veterans, fallen heroes. Tell me about that. I mean, why is that important to do so?
I mean, I spent 7 years in the fire service, and so I wanted to find a way to give back. So we do a charity golf tournament every year, and it goes to National Fallen Firefighter Foundation in the States, and also a group called Hungry Heroes. A young lady started this out of North Carolina, I believe, and she goes out to different scenes that are active scenes in the Southeast, and she'll go feed the people on the scene that are working. And so she comes to the tournament, and it's just our small way of being able to try to give back to the career that started everything and the whole reason I was able to move to Nashville in the first place.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for giving me some time, and can't wait to see you hit the stage later,
Well, thank you so much. We're about to go sound check now.